Hello friends, my name is Kristen. Now that spring is here, I get to thinking about new life that's in nature. I think of flowers, trees, and baby animals. Why are they so cute? Today we're going to draw 3 cute little chicks. Isn't it interesting that even as babies, we can see the different personalities in the chicks? See if you can think of some fun names for your fluffy little chicks. Okay, we're going to get started on drawing our middle chick, and we have to think about placement. We're going to start with the beak. So the beak is going to be in the very center if you're looking from left to right. If you're looking from up and down, it's going to be up a little higher. So I'm going to put my finger right here. So on your paper, that's where you're going to want your finger to start. To start with, we're going to make a curved line. This is part of the beak. Curve it down and in, and then right next to that line, the top line where I first started, I'm going to make a diagonal line going down, and then I'm going to make a curve that goes out. Okay, and then I'm going to connect these 2 pieces here. So these 2 lines are going to end up connected. First I'm going to make a diagonal line going up, and then I'm going to go to the side. And on the bottom part of his beak, we're going to make a curve that goes down and it meets at the very end, back part of his beak. And in the middle of his beak, we're going to make a curved line that is right to the side. And on the right side of his beak, we're going to put a little check mark. Okay, and then we're going to start with the eye. So we'll do a circle. So if you take your finger from the beak to about right here, that's where you're going to start your circle for the eye. So it's a little bit up to the right. There's our circle. And then we're going to make a little circle inside of that. That's going to be the glare in his eye. Around the eyes, we're going to put an angled line on each side. And then we're going to start his head. So for his head, I'm going to start, you see where the top of his beak is? Go down just a little bit to the middle. That's where we're going to start our first line, and this is going to be curved over to the left. We're going to curve that over his eye. It's a big round shape here. And we're going to stop right about there, which is towards the bottom of his beak. We'll go back to that line that we first started with, and we're going to make a line that goes a little bit to the left, and we're going to curve it back into the right. And then we'll put on his second eye, which is going to be right on the corner. So we're going to do a half circle, and then inside of that we'll do another tiny little half circle, very, very small. On the top of his head, or on the top of his beak, actually, we're going to put 2 little lines on each side of the beak. In the center of the beak, right above it, we're going to make a line that goes up. It's going to be curved, showing the shape of his head. And then we'll make a Y going the other way. Then on his right eye, we're going to make 2 little lines and a little squiggly line right next to it. Now we're going to start the shape of his body. So I'm going to start in the middle of his cheek, that cheek that we made. We're going to take a line and we're going to curve it out to the left. And we're going to curve around and down underneath. Then I'm going to curve it up, and I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to go to the top of his, or to the bottom of his head, and I'm going to make a curved line that goes out. This is going to be like his chest poofing out, and that's going to go down to the line that we just did. Then we're going to make his little feathers, a little wing here, just with some angled lines, and then 1 long straight line. We'll make a couple little fluffy feathers, just zigzag lines, in a couple areas here. Now we'll do his feet. So we'll start with the left foot. I'm going to make a straight line down, and then I'm going to curve it out to the left a little bit. And at the bottom, I'm going to make a U shape and bring it back up. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to make the other side of his leg straight line down, but this time I'm going to curve to the right. I'll make a U shape, and it's going to go back up to this line. Okay, and then we're going to make his third toe. Just make a long U shape there. And he has webbed feet, so I'm going to put a little web between his toes. And a little notch on the back here. And we're going to put little angled lines for his claws. They're very small little angled lines on the edge of each toe. Now the next leg is going to be shorter. So I'm going to start with coming down, making a straight line, and then it's going to pop out into a little bit of a curve. Then I'm going to go straight down again. And I'll curve off to the left, make a U shape going in, just like we did with the other toe. So again, you can see this foot is much shorter than this one, or this leg. And then we're going to make the other side of the leg, straight line down. We're going to curve off to the right, make a U shape at the bottom, and then we're going to meet this toe with the other one. Then we'll make the third little toe coming off of the second one that we did. We'll add the web and our angled lines for the claws. And now we have our first little chick done. So let's go to the chick to the right. Now this chick is going to be facing the middle one. So we're going to start with the beak. And you can tell that I'm starting my beak a little bit above the middle of this other chick. I'm going to make a curved line over to the left. And then I'm going to take a line that goes in towards what will be his face, and then the bottom part of the beak. And then I'm going to make an angled line finishing off the beak. And a little check mark inside. Then we'll make the eye, so I'm going to start with a circle. And a small circle inside. Again, on the edges, just like we did the other eye, we're going to make two angled lines. Right below the eye, I'm going to add just a couple more little lines that curve up towards the eye. And now we'll make his head. So we'll start at the top of the beak. We'll make a round, a big curve here. And the curve's going to come in. And then we're going to go to the bottom of the beak on the other side. We're going to curve this line in, and we're going to make a small line that goes out. Now we're ready to make the shape of his body. So I'm going to start at this last line that I finished off on. I'm going to make a curved line off to the left, and I'm going to make a little indent. That's going to be his wing. And then I'll make a big U shape here at the very bottom. And this U shape will come back up around to the other side of his head, and then we're going to start going inward, just like that. And I'm going to make a little line right here, and that's just going to show separation for his other wing. And to add some details, right above his beak, we'll put a curved line. And next to his eyes, we'll put 3 little lines. Then we're going to add just some poofy little feathers here. And these are just some zigzag lines. Down here, maybe a couple angle lines going along the curve of his body. And last, we'll do his feet. Now these feet are going to be straight forward, so I'm just going to make a straight line, and then I will take this line directly to the left, make a U shape back in. And I'll start again at the other side of his leg, make a straight line down with a little notch on one side, and I'm going to curve it out to the right, make a U shape back in. To make his last little toe, we're just going to connect these two lines, make a U shape up, and we'll add his little claws. Again, these are just some tiny little angled lines. Okay, now I'm going to add his second foot. This one's going to be approximately the same height, maybe a little bit shorter. So I'm going to make a diagonal line that's going to go off to the right a little bit, and then curve it over to the left. And I'll make a U shape in, just like we've been doing. On the other side, I'm going to make another diagonal line. You can see this leg is not straight. So it'll be diagonal to the right. I'll take a U shape back in. And then his bottom claw will be going straight down. U shape up. And we can't forget to add the little notch in the back and his little claws. We'll also add the webs on these feet. Just between the toes, we'll put a curved little line that'll resemble the webs. Okay, last we're going to do our third little chick, and he's also going to be looking at the middle chick. Once again, we'll start with the beak. So I'm going to make a line, an angled line, or I'm sorry, a diagonal line going up to the left. And then I'm going to make another line that goes with a little curve in towards his face and the bottom part of his beak. And we'll finish off his beak making a line up, curve out. We're going to go back in and then go straight up. Inside his beak we'll have a cute little U shape. And then we'll go to his eye. So this eye, if you look at his beak, is directly over to the left. I'm going to start with a circle just like we did before. And then a circle on the inside of the eye. And of course the angled lines on the outside. And a small little line underneath. Okay. And to do his head, I will start with the bottom part of his chin here. We'll just make a curved line from the bottom of his beak, going down into the left a little. And then we're going to finish off his round head. Just make a big curve over to the left, back into the right. We'll stop right about there. And now we'll make his body. Okay, so to make his body, I'm going to curve out to the left. We're going to make a big curve to show his, see he's going to have a big belly. On the other side, we're going to make another big curve. And then we'll add a little wing here. And at the bottom, I'm actually going to add some fluff. So to add a little bit of fluff, I'm going to make some zigzag angled lines that go back around. And then on the inside of his body, I'm going to do the same thing. Just add a little bit of feathers. These are fluffy little feathers. They're very soft. Okay. Next, we're going to do the feet. Again, we'll start with the left foot. So we'll go to the left side of the body and we'll make a straight line down. These feet are going to be just like the last ones we did. And now you have your three little chicks. Before we move on, we're going to color the eyes. So you're not going to color the little dot that we made. We made a little circle in the eye. We're going to keep that white. But the rest of it, we're just going to color in black. Now that we're finished with the drawing, we will move to watercolor. You can find the next video at yourartlesson.com. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe for free to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining!